I'm excited, very excited right now today because we've got the man that gave you Running. We got the man that gave you Feeling.
Yeah.
He just released Big Energy yesterday, the 10th of June.
Yes, sir.
And he's in the studio with me right now and Represent Radio on my show. It's Ladipoe.
Man,
How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling like I have big energy. That's exactly what I'm feeling like.
Pun intended.
Yeah, pun definitely intended. And I'm happy to be here right now and represent.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
This is like a last minute one for you because obviously when you came to London, this wasn't the plan to do like a promo run, but you thought you might squeeze in a couple interviews as well.
And I think that those kind of things are so important, you know, it being in the city, touching down in important places and you know, connecting. So, man, I'm out here and I'm with Samuel Eni. So, yeah.
Here we go. Nigeria's like a blessed continent to have so many iconic artists come out from there, you being one of them. How has being from there helped shape your sound, helped shape you as a person, as an individual?
Wow, it has a big influence. I remember when I started to rap, you know, the skill is one thing. Developing the skill and becoming a skilled elite rap artist or lyricist and writer, it is now another thing to be able to tell stories. And, you know, I feel like when Nigeria is the reason for that, the reason that the stories are connecting is because I live this situation. You know, some of these things, we're flipping the concept a little bit in the song, but we're giving it based on how. So when I say I'm just running on vibes, I mean, like in Nigeria, it feels like you're running on vibes, you know. Yeah. So it just turns into a song that might have a catchy hook, but that's real, you know. So it's hard to turn these realities into songs, melodies, ideas, concepts, and themes, you know. So Nigeria is a big part of that.
And I feel like when I was deep diving into you and you was literally just doing the research and stuff, I found out that you studied in North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Biology
and chemistry. So then now to be an artist, such a different kind of
huge
path that you have now.
Ah, man, bro, it's
Was you making music while you was in uni as well? Is that something?
I mean, that's kind of where it kicked off.
Yeah.
That's where it kicked off for me, and I, you know, the love for it kicked off from there. But in terms of, like I say, like moving to Nigeria is what turned it into like being an artist, because when you have stories to tell, then you're an artist. You know, it's not just being able to paint. It's when you are painting something that's connected to you and then you're trying to get someone to feel something, then you become an artist, you know. So yeah, but that's where the skill really developed. And then, you know, it's funny because, you know, I studied all these things and I'm still happy to have done that. It's a big part of my journey. So yeah, it's all good.
You can never take that away from you.
No, can't.
And I guess when you make music, now your first album dropped in like 2018, Tapped. So like obviously it's a long way from there now. We're in 2022. And then when you make music now, it's always got a feeling. It's always, you've been able to tap into so many different emotions. What would you say is like your kind of favorite emotion to tap into that you feel like not only you feel it whenever you release a song, but you feel like your fans feel it too?
That's a tough one. I mean, that's the job. That's really the job, you know. Like, I'm in love with the idea of being able to create stuff that people are connected to. And then if you're really lucky, they find out something about themselves, about that they feel inspires their life, makes them question something in their life, makes them feel even more connected to something in their life. I feel like this whole thing that is happening with me, it's a lot of grace. There's a lot of luck involved, but having the right team and developing your skill set, not settling, and being happy with your evolution. Yeah, you know.
Speaking about evolution,
yeah,
Providence was released late last year.
Providence.
Yeah, November.
Yeah, dear.
Such a strong EP.
Dear to my heart.
I really love LOTR too. But speaking on that as well, that's a time capsule. That's like something that you've left with us in 2021, and now we're in 2022. How much of the emotion, or should I say, how much of that concept and idea is still with you today with Providence? Because I feel like when artists release music or when they release projects, they've given it away now. It's us for the audience to digest it. But that's that moment, that's that time capsule that you have shared with us. But now, so many months has passed now, you might be in a different mind state, you might be a different person then. So how much of you making Providence is still with you today?
Oh man, see, I'm on the right show because Sam is asking questions, you know. I mean, like, it's true because the whole idea of Providence is something that still remains with me, and Providence in itself was kind of like a precursor to the kind of music that I'm going to make. I feel like I needed, Feeling had happened. I released Running as the first single of Providence. People need to always, my fan base, I always want to let them know who I am. give them that kind of like core every time. So what we are dropping big songs, big singles, big ideas, but then we'll go back to something and say, this is the core. Remember, this is what it's about. Remember, this is what I'm pushing. You know, so LOTR2 is a way of, I started out with LOTR2 and ended with Providence intentionally because I want them to know the kind of artist that I am, and then what is also in between. So then you got Afro Jigger, you got running, you got sounds that are a bit like on the outskirts of it, but the core is LOTR2. You know, so I'm able to do all those things and I'm enjoying doing all those things. I just want to carry them along. Providence is still very much with me, and you'll see elements of that when I drop my project, my next project.
Have you got a date for that?
No, definitely not.
Not yet.
Definitely. The label is asking me like when. I'm like, give me a bit, because I need to tap in. I enjoy like, I put out, it has to be of me.
Yeah.
So I can't do that when there's a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So
how do you go back, or how do you go forward in terms of you just tapping in and blocking out all the noise to
Sam,
create your project?
Do you know that why that's a great question is because it's a question that I'm actually finding out the answer to myself right now. I'd never been experienced what feeling did before in my career, where I was just outside shows, back-to-back shows, and a little bit of it was overwhelming because I didn't know how to create and be on road. You know, now I'm seeing, okay, I've learned a few things. Like once I get back to Nigeria now, the first thing I'm doing that week, I know I have radio, I have press, but I'm intentionally creating studio time. So I'm going to be in the studio as well. This is something I didn't do before. I didn't even have the capacity to, but I've learned from that experience, and I'm going to be blocking out time, no matter what's happening, no matter how crazy it gets, to minister to the mic, to be in the studio, to record my ideas and develop them as we go. Because now I'm the kind of artist that I have to be able to do these things simultaneously. And
it's so great that you're aware of that as well, because like you said, you've never experienced what feeling has done for you in your career. And the fact that feeling came and it was just like, wow, what is this? We all took it, like my friend was in here now, she was still humming the song as well. It's still a catchy song. It's such a song that I feel like you was in your bag, bro. Honestly, you and Buju, like, let's just even talk about that. Like you and Buju, how did you know Buju was right for that song first? And then when you did the song Feeling, what was you feeling at the time when you created that?
Oh man,
because it was magic at the end of the day.
It really was. Big shout out to Benson, formerly known as Buju. You know, that moment was special. I remember 2021 started off very difficult. There was a big loss in our family. You know, one that was till today still surprises me that she's not around. And that same year, a few weeks later, I got like my first Headies win. That Headies is one of the biggest award shows we have in Nigeria, and to get that, it was so validating. And that bittersweet feeling to me is very much present in the song. I like the way I'm feeling now. No, come use your reggae, spell my, like, don't bring that energy. Like, I'm choosing to be happy. I'm choosing to recognize that there's a happy moment that's happened. I'll focus on that. I'll not focus on the negativity that might be brought my way. And I think that that's the reason why when we worked on Feeling, I knew that was the single I wanted to drop. Now, in terms of Buju, I was working on another song. So I teamed up with Andre Vibes, who produced Feeling. Shout out to him. Big producer. He also produced Calm Down for Rema.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, so we are working on a bunch of stuff, and I zeroed out a couple of tracks that I really loved. I'm like, okay, this is fire. Feeling, the beat for Feeling was one of them. But I had this other idea that we liked, that we're really, buzzing over. And I was talking to one of my man them. We're going to the studio, and I picked him up to give him a ride, and I was playing some of the stuff, and he was like, oh, this track that you're buzzing over, Buju will kill it. And I'm like, Buju, and I thought the Showdown Camp track he did, Do Me Nice. I'm like, yeah, Buju's the guy. Buju's the guy for this kind of sound. So I brought him in for that track. We recorded that track real quick. And then I was like, oh, hold on. Let me play you some other stuff that I have, And I was like, Andre, run that, because we had selected it. They had the Ladipoe forward. I was like, dig into the crate. So the first thing he played was the Feeling beat. And Buju will tell you that, Poe had switched the next track, and I brought it back. And he's right. I feel the vibe of the person next to me. I see if they're nodding their head, and Buju was kind of like just nodding, but still everybody nods their head in the studio. So he didn't say anything or show anything super obvious. So I said, Andre, next one. Buju's like, hold on. He goes up to the mic and he drops the hook one time. And so I feel like studio sessions are very powerful. Working with an artist one-on-one is powerful because you never know. And the studio environment fosters a feeling. Buju was connected. He felt tapped in most because, I mean, that hook was so cold. As soon as I heard it, I was like, ooh. So we had a song scheduled. I pulled back that song because feeling captured how I was, what was going on in my life. So I'm really grateful for all these factors coming together to make this moment. And feeling became a smash, and it's still going.
Still going.
It's still going.
We still play it.
Yeah.
There's a bar that you quoted that you said that the root of all evil is in the heart and not in the currency. Now, the actual, people rephrase that, and the actual saying would be, the root of money is the root of all evil, as they say. But you changed that.
Yes.
How much of that do you actually believe, of where it's like the root of all evil is in the heart and not in the currency?
Because I know who's spending that money.
Okay.
That person that's spending that money is, money is a tool. A hammer is not going to pick up itself and, hit a nail over the head, So I do believe that we have a huge influence in the things that happen, and we have to take ownership of that. I was not like trying to tell people how to do things. I was just acknowledging a very important thing. And in my life, I'm not going to pretend that it's money that's causing it. It's the person behind it. And I wanted to share that insight. LOTR2 had a lot of insights, things I had
100%.
Discovered that I felt like I wanted to share with people.
There was even a bar that you said that even when my drip is heavy,
doesn't always quench the
it
thirst.
doesn't always quench the thirst.
True now.
So like
what I was really trying to say is like, I mean, I'm dressed fly and everything like that, but people still wanting, you're still hungry for it, So like, it doesn't matter how heavy the drip is, it's still, I'm still hungry for this, For still more. I'm still thirsty for it all, So yeah, I'm happy you clocked onto these things.
Of course.
Yeah, these are lifelines.
Yeah.
Lifelines.
Sliding into this next one, Running. Fireboy DML.
Yeah.
7 million on Spotify.
Oof.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro.
I mean, I really like that song. I liked working with Fire. It's funny, we worked on 3 songs that day.
Yeah.
Running was the last song that we did. It was the very, very last one. I like how Fire works because I like that. I like how Fire works. Anyways, so he comes into the studio. We've been wanting to work for a minute.
Yeah.
And then we finally had the opportunity. He pulls up to the studio. He brings his mic with him. The only thing that Fire requests in the studio session is some wine. So when you hear sweet white wine, he's not capping.
Okay.
It's facts. There's wine. The wine was all up in the studio, So and we run ideas. I'm like, next one. Run ideas, next one. And I like working like that because let's move. Let's create a productive session because we don't see each other often, And so Andre played that one from scratch. Andre Vibes again, he played that one from scratch. And Fireboy really loves chords, big chords, and I like anthemic sounds and cinematic sounds, so it
makes sense because you play the piano.
I don't. I wish I did. I used to. No, bro, I don't. What?
But you can get it back though.
I mean, I tried to. To be honest with you, the 2 things that I really want to pick up on is going back to playing piano and also like actually being serious about taking like singing classes and improving my artistry.
Yeah.
And then running is just a product of 2 great artists who respect one another in the studio together, making a great song.
Yeah. There's another bar that you dropped, which really touched me, was when you said, my mother's request is to pick up a Bible verse when I'm feeling distressed.
Yeah.
What is your Bible verse? What is the verse that you go to?
The thing about that is the reason why I put because somebody tweeted I put a lot of biblical references is it is my way of reminding myself to go back.
Yeah. Because
I'm so far away from it in terms of just regularly attending church and tending to my spirituality, with which my mom is she is always pushing me on that. And I'm always saying, I'll do it soon. And so a lot of those things are things that I've left, I haven't tended to. So in my music, I'm like dropping reminders for myself because this is what's really happening. Like when I pull up, every time I come back from a trip, I go home. I go to see my mom. So I'm going to stop by home this trip and we're going to talk. And at one point she's going to say, so what are you doing about your faith? She's going to ask me that question.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
I put that into my music. So there's no verse that comes out to me, but it's the fact that my mom doesn't relent, and I need to, like, for myself, find what that means to me, my faith.
Wealth and prosperity. That's what your name means.
Yes. Sam is on point, dude. He's ready. He's ready. Represent.
So we're going through, we're dissecting all your projects that you have. But I think for me, what I really like is that when you're a musician, when you're an artist, sometimes people don't allow themselves to stop and give thanks, especially on their birthday. Now, your birthday was April 29th.
Yes, it was.
What did you do for your birthday this year?
Sam, I'm sorry to say that I was working. I was working on my birthday. I was working. I had a shoot. I remember I had a shoot for a brand. You know, we're working. And oh my goodness, I swear the whole day was a work day. Then after that, I think I had a show. You know, and I came back on Saturday, and that's when I took time to spend time with my family. Okay. I got an amazing birthday gift, you know, from my babe. She got me two things. One, she got me that PS5. Yeah, she got me a PS5, which she knew I've been wanting to get. In fact, 2 days before that, I was already on the website saying, let me buy this thing. I got distracted. I had to go in to do some work. Okay. So she got me that, and then she got me a plaque. She got me a plaque for Feeling that said, congratulations on over 100 million streams. And she's like, I know the label might not get it for you, but I wanted to get you this. And it's like official. Like, it's the kind of thing that to get that plaque, you have to submit the evidence that the track has done those things. And she colluded with my manager to get that done. And so that was just a special gift. And in terms of what you said, celebrating the wins, she forced me to remember that we did do a lot of work, you know, and I'm grateful for that. I
mean, you worked on your birthday, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Continuously working.
I'm telling you. So she gave me a moment to think back that, you know, celebrate. Don't forget to celebrate.
She's a keeper, bro.
Oh yeah,
she's a keeper.
100%.
Music group, lyrically equipped.
He's digging into the crates right now.
What are we saying for that? What is 2022 saying for that?
Like lyrically equipped. Those are my guys. Yeah. Lyrically equipped are my guys, and when I started rapping, that was the group I started rapping with. Mm-hmm. Like one was Jeff and the other guy was Kurt. Kurt was the producer. Jeff rapped with me. Mm-hmm. And they're still my friends till this day. I saw them, you know, this year. And even though we're not rapping together anymore, I'm still the only one kind of in the space now. They're still very much a part of me being able to do this. It's funny, when I started doing my own thing, I never thought I'd be rapping solo. First and foremost, I never thought I could make a song if Jeff wasn't on it. I never thought I could write enough. I never thought I'd have enough concepts to push through. So they gave me that confidence of how to be in the studio, how to work. And, you know, that's why they are still a big part of me now. In terms of lyrically equipped, I just carry that thing we built back in school, and it's in everything I do now, you know. Even there's a handshake there's a Know You video. I have a music video for a song called Know You. It's a handshake I do with the girl in the video. It's actually the handshake that lyrically equipped and I made up, you know. So okay. I just, you know, I throw pieces in everything I do.
Of course, I pay attention as well. Big Energy's out.
Big Energy is out.
What is aside from the pun intended and of course the title in itself, everything it is within the title. What else did you want your audience to feel or take away from that song?
To me, things have been moving at a fast pace for me, and there is a lot of humility in that. Then I also recognize that I can talk my talk loudly, and it's not arrogant. It is confidence, and it's authentic confidence. The reason why I say authentic is because I don't really need anything to prop it up. I don't need to spice it with arrogance. I don't need to spice it with hate. I don't need to spice it with anything. On its own, it's a perfect ingredient. And I'm trying to let people know that you can tap into this big energy too. You know, remember that your win is key. Doesn't matter how small. Remember that it was your hard work that took you there. Remember that it's okay to say, I did that. Remember that your resume needs to stack up, you know, and don't keep feeling like you're not doing enough. Because that feeling, it creates so much anxiety in the person.
Bro.
Waking up saying, I need to do more. Okay, but look at what I've done. Yeah. You know, and those things give you big energy. And also your support. For me, my support system is a big reason why I feel big. And I wanted to give that to people. And with my singles, sometimes I'm not even trying to be poetic. I'm on the nose. The hook literally says big energy, and but underneath it all, it's about projecting authentic confidence, which you feel. And even if you don't feel it at the moment, you can tap into it.
Yeah. I still think it's very much still early in your career, and I think for me, we as fans, as audience, are still quite excited to hear what's next for you. And honestly, feelings are always going to have a time capsule. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Running's going to have a time capsule. Yeah. These are moments that we share with you and the people that was featured with you on the tracks. So then for me, it's like, what is next? What is next, bro?
I like that question, but I also like my answer to it is that I truly don't know, because I didn't know Feeling was gonna happen. I didn't know You was gonna happen. I didn't know Providence was gonna happen. Providence has been in my mind for a while. Some of these moments I didn't envision them, but like I said on Providence, I was prepared for them. So the part that I do know is, yes, there's going to be a project soon, but my definition of soon is very broad. But you're gonna get a complete Ladipoe. I want to be on as many types of songs that represent me as possible. Yeah. I want to have my Ladipoe experience and my Ladipoe shows. I'm going to be on a lot more festivals and a lot more shows this year around the world. I'm going to be doing things for my own community, the little meet and greets. I want to do merch. I want to give back to the community that has helped support me. I don't know where it's going to go, but I do know that there's an evolution, and I'm going to follow it. Like, my trajectory is up. I just don't want to go up alone. Okay. I want to make sure people are coming with me, and the fans are coming with me, the support systems coming with me, and other artists are coming with me. So it's just going to be a whole lot more of Ladipoe. So just get ready for that.
Let's go, man. It's been a vibe. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. Honestly, Ladipoe, represent radio, Samuel Eni. On Drive Time, thank you so much for your time, brother.
Yeah.
And we've already played that big energy on the station. Yeah. So we're just waiting for other singles and the project to come out.
And I got you. It's Ladipoe.
And next time you come to London, make sure you visit us again.
Hey, one more time, because I had to represent, and I'm happy to be here right now. And I'm looking forward to what the future holds.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's Ladipoe. But you knew that.